Rick was talking what specific green energy companies there are or where the benefits are coming from. They're all along the county. Actually, Turtle Plastics, I mentioned about the wind turbine, they actually use recycled plastic to make flooring tiles. So they've been doing the recycling. Mike's been involved in recycling since 1982 in the renewable energies from working for First Energy. Again, the Culp manufacturer, we have a great company in Avon, used to be called Avon Bearings. They were purchased by a company called Cardon Manufacturing out of Michigan a couple years ago. We were working with them through the Growth Partnership on a $10 million expansion because they are 3 years backlog on the amount of work on the bearings they make to fit in the wind turbines. They were bought out by a larger company and they're looking to possibly relocate if they don't have enough space on their current footprint to grow. We've had a lot of interest. The Growth Partnership through our Real Team process has spent a lot of time with companies anywhere from photovoltaic. We actually lost one last year, a wind blade manufacturer we were trying to place at the former Lorain Ford site, IRG owned, Stuart Lichter. At the time, the state hadn't passed their stimulus package for helping us attract companies. We lost, I believe, to Arkansas, right, Steve? Is that where they went to? Very large company. But we do spend a lot of time, and your current administration spends a lot of time working in that partnership for the attraction part. But as Mike was saying, and I'll still, in your master plan concept, I think it's got to be a regional approach to how we pass our ordinances to place the wind turbines here. So in your master plan subcommittee, I think almost at your city council level, a subcommittee on how that'll be handled when it comes to residential areas and meeting the needs of your industries and where they're located at. So as you work through your process here, and there's 4 or 5 other speakers. Oh, well, Senator, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry. Senator Morano is very involved in this also. We spend a lot of time talking on the phone. But we need to all get on the same page moving forward because this is the growth the next 10 years in Lorain County, changing our manufacturing. I mean, if we work on the parts for wind turbines, we should be able to cluster and actually do the manufacture of blades and or turbines. We need to start installing them, which means we need to start having our ordinances in place so companies can come here and do it, not negotiate the process. A private sector company looking to locate is looking for job-ready sites. Where can we go to do the job we need to do that we don't have to go through a lot of red tape? So it's very important in your master planning process to get through that. Lorain County is very big economic development-wise, new jobs in the Star Wars metals type programs. We've got 2 very large companies, one who just did, what was it, $100 million expansion. National Browns will be finishing up. That imported a lot of equipment from around the world to handle all the real precious metals to make very specific parts. We're no longer going to be the large automotive manufacturer with 10,000 jobs on a plant or the U.S. Steels with 14,000. A lot of that is because of outsourcing they left. A lot of it is due to technology. You don't need those many bodies to make those pieces, parts anymore. So we have to re-educate our workforce, which is what we're doing through Lorain County Community College and our Workforce Investment Board and Workforce Investment Act. I spoke about earlier what the college is doing when it comes to a wind curriculum. We're hoping to get approved by the Board of Regents by the end of the year to have that at the college, similar to what they've done at Iowa Lakes College, because then when you do the education component, it makes it easier for companies to come here. We've done it with other companies anywhere from call centers to small manufacturing. Now we need to go towards the renewables. We have another company who's looking to expand. They'll be bringing equipment in from overseas. Again, it's going to start doing photovoltaic. I've been working with, hopefully in the next 30 days to announce that. So we have a good synergy going on here. North Ridgeville is placed in a very good place. You are close to most of the population of the United States. Again, we have the great transportation to move product out of here. It's American, everybody on board. And I keep talking about the regional concept. And regional is a great concept for Northeast Ohio. But I think first we have to do it here in Lorain County. And it starts with your master planning going forward. I have a whole lot of other things to add to that being up first. So, any questions I can help anybody? Anything you'd like to bring up while I'm standing here? Because you said 25, it's only been about 16, so I don't want to cut Rick short. Yes?
I'm curious as how are the power and electric companies reacting to this shift?
It wasn't very good. Now they have no choice. Now it's legislation. And not to get into politics, but there was a lot of issues going on with the House bill. Actually, I was called to testify when it was being reviewed, and myself, Mike Challender, was going down there, Pete Pappas from the local laborers union, AFL-CIO, and John Sekulik, who has a plan for wind turbines. He's looking at submerged land leases. I was called to testify on a Tuesday. They called me Monday at 4 o'clock. I had to write up all my testimony. I had to have 45 copies ready. Well, former Senator Armbruster's back here and Senator Morano. So you have to put all these patches together. We left quite early in the morning to make at 9:30. I was on at 9:45. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I had Mike and Pete and John stuffing all the information in our growth partnership thing, and as we got down there, it got closed. No more testimony. They shut it down because an issue had come up. So, not very well at first, but now they understand that's the way government is going. It's going to be a requirement now. You have to do it. Whenever a law is passed, by 2025, I believe it's what 12.5% we have to have of renewable energy produced. And the equipment is so large, you want to manufacture and use it where you're at within a locality because shipping is so expensive. So they haven't been very good with it, but they've learned they have to adapt like all industry does when there's a change.
Are you ignoring the addition? I understand the whole idea behind wind and renewable, but is the focus being shifted from like clean coal, geothermal?
Well, up here,
because I would imagine if you're going to go through that, if you're going to do a renewable source.
Clean coal's a big one there, but that's not up here manufacturing-wise for a master plan for North Ridgeville. That's why you bring it in. But we do have the geothermal component. We actually attracted a company to Lorain County approximately a year ago, and they've been out bidding. It's a small company for geothermal work. They were purchasing a company out of Iowa and locating in Lorain County. They're out doing bid process now, but that's one of the ways using those type of products, even in government usage, be it through wind or solar or geothermal, you put people to work doing that, and the stimulus package is behind a lot of that now because it's looking to make it energy efficient. A lot of the stimulus bill is going to be energy efficiencies, and it's going to be to put people to work.
Well, yeah, and I understand the idea of bringing in business. I'm just sitting there thinking if you're going to continue building houses, whether it's here or somewhere else, throw geothermal, and that's part of the code.
Without a doubt. Actually, it's on my notes up here.
Is that part of something that like Lorain County as a whole would be doing, or I don't know? I
don't know Lorain County as a whole. Again, when you're getting into residential, that's an individual builder. You'd like to make it competitive enough and a return on dollar enough to make that available. But we do, it's something being done here. Actually, right now, as a big push, is the new Elyria High School. There's all geothermal. I dug 800 wells for the geothermal. So that's going to be the push from the commercial side. Yeah, I didn't mean to forget that part of it. But that's a big part of it, the equipment keeping people working.
What about biofuels? What are we doing about that?
Biofuels, there's been a couple up here, actually one in North Ridgeville that the mayor could probably be more informed on speaking. I had a couple meetings, but I wasn't in depth, or Steve next week to talk about that. But again, that's another initiative, but it hasn't picked up a lot of steam. The wind part of it being where we're located at, one of the best winds. Pardon me? Oh, that's what I said. One of the best winds areas for generation has been the focus on wind because of our manufacturing we can do. So, I mean, that's been the focus up here because we're a former manufacturing area with the Ford plant, steel plant. So we have bodies who are available to do that work and are trained or can be retrained to do that because it's not far off their jobs. That's why the focus has been there.
I could jump on
Go ahead,
to follow that. A few years back, there was an independent study done, and this study was looking at the wind industry, and they said if the U.S. was to get really aggressive and really expand the amount of energy that wind turbines could generate, what states, what areas would have the best advantage, or who would get the most jobs created out of it? And actually, Ohio was ranked number 2 behind California, and that was due to the fact that we make a lot of stuff for automotives and the airline industry. And the state, they brought that down and said, well, okay, let's look at our state. If our state is number 2 in this study, how does each county look? And Lorain County was actually number 2 or 3 behind Cuyahoga County. I think we might